And we are back next episode of Hero Comics talking about stuff. This is Hero Comics talking about death, particularly death in movies. In real life, death is a very sad and tragic event. Even to a Christian, you know that to a Christian, even though you know that your loved ones who are Christians who have died are in heaven, and you'll see them eventually when you die and go to heaven. But still, there's still that the fact that they're gone. You know, you'll be gone, possibly going to be gone for a long time. They're never coming back. You have to wait. You have to wait until it's your turn to go. That's really sad. But in movies and cartoons and things, that's not exactly the case. That's why I have this picture here of Billy and Mandy and Grimm. Basically, that's a very silly version of death. Basically, not the scariest person on the show, character on the show. But still, yeah, not at all. I mean, a long shot. Mandy is. But basically, yeah, they it's like death in there is a very, very wussified. Has been wussified. Basically, he has no choice. Made a deal with these kids, sort of a spoof of Fairly Odd Parents, in my opinion, to hang out with them and do whatever they want him to do with his magic and whatnot. It's just basically it's a spoof. It's spoofing Fairly Odd Parents. I'm pretty sure. And it's a lot of fun to me. Some people don't like it, but that's okay. Anyway, but in movies, and things, death can be in games. Death can be taken very lightly. I mean, there are lots of things, in action movies and stuff. You got, the henchmen that are shooting at you. In video games like Call of Duty and other things like that, and other video games like that, there are henchmen and things that shoot at you, right? And you have to basically shoot it back at them, and you're like, oh no, you're not really sad when they die because it's like, oh, they're shooting at me, they're bad guys that are shooting at me. And then there's like, those aren't really, when they die, it's not, not really that big. But then it's like, the biggest, most the biggest, most, heavy, death type of death that they can have in an action movie or something like that is basically when the hero's family dies or is killed or his friend is killed or something like that, which gives him the incentive to go and get revenge on the people who did it or whatever did it. You're like, I'm Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. You dishonored my father. Prepare to die. This. Whatever. You killed my father. Prepare to die. All kinds of stuff. I'll avenge you. Lots of different things like that. It's that's the deepest stuff, and that can be done, pretty well. But it's been done a lot. So basically, it's sometimes it's like you see it, and you're like, oh great, it's this type of thing. That's how you feel sometimes in death in movies because you've seen it a lot. You've seen it all before, a bunch before, and sometimes it's just not done well. Uh, there's movies like basically, there's a movie, Shirley Temple movie, in my opinion, the worst Shirley Temple movie of all time. Wee Willie Winky. Okay, this is my my least favorite Shirley Temple movie of all time, and this is not even the one with blackface in it. Okay, there is a Shirley Temple movie that has blackface in it, and at the end, there are two young black boys doing blackface. But no, still, not my worst, not my least favorite. You know why it's my least favorite movie? Because they treat death wrong. They treat death wrong. Okay, here's how it goes. In this movie, they basically start off, Shirley Temple's character and her mother are come over to like India to get her father's effects because he got killed in this war they're having in India. The British, his army is having in India with these people, and basically. And it starts, basically it's going on being like looking like a normal Shirley Temple movie. They go there, they go there, meet people, hilarity ensues. Basically, that's what happens. So I started off doing that, and it was kind of interesting. There was like a little thing that was a little weird because there was like I guess either when Shirley Temple's character's mother was asleep or what they weren't. She wasn't in there. Wasn't in the thing. I think she was asleep, or so, I don't know exactly what's going on. But anyway, they were looking. While they were looking, this Middle Eastern dude, well dressed, very cool looking Middle Eastern dude, sneaks up, goes to Shirley Temple's window, and it's like, hello. It's like, hello. He's like, hello. He's like, oh, yes. What is a young child like you doing in a place such as this? She's like, well, I come to get my father's things. He's a soldier, you see, and he was just killed, and he died. Like in this terrible war. It's like, oh, yeah, like, sorry for your loss. I hope this war will soon end, so that no one will have to die. He's like, yeah. Me too. It's like, okay, well, enjoy your stay here. Just do not tell anyone that do not tell anyone that know about this or our little visit. We all the secrets. She's like, okay, sure, whatever. She doesn't understand what's going on, and he's like, oh, he slinks off, and then it's like, also see guards, soldiers running around, going, like, he's escaped, find him, getting around. It's like, that might be important for later. So you're just going, okay, no big deal, no big deal. You're going, okay, maybe important for later, whatever, whatever. It's back to the story of Temple-ness. So Temple going to an army base. So Temple, uh, the uptight commander of that army base being like, oh, a child here? No, no, we gotta have a child here. That's preposterous. And he's like, well, we're just here until we get our effects. It's like that. It's like, oh, you cannot leave. They're about to lay siege. Like, oh, no, oh no. We're still having like that, and it's like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna do? And then, of course, the mother meets this dashing young dude who she's probably going to end up with at the end. You suspect. And of course, then and even Shredder even meets a young dude, little dude of her own, to be friends with. I don't know why he's there. Maybe he's, I don't know. The camp families, I guess. Yeah, camp followers, whatever. Is always like, he's the little kid's pretending to be a soldier too. Playing pranks on everyone, and basically especially this one dude. She's playing pranks. He's playing pranks on this one dude, uh, who's like the sergeant or something in charge of training the men. And basically this dude, very big, gregarious dude. And he's like, oh, yes, the Scottish dude, Scottish bro. He's like, all right, let me show you how to fight. You got, your right hand is up for attack. Your left hand is up for defense. All right, and they're trying to teach him boxing. He's like, all right, little dude. There's like this guy that's like pretty, the silly. There's one of the weaker dudes is like hanging out, just like with his boxing gloves on. He's like, all right, I'm going to, all right, let's spar for a bit. I hate you. Throw a punch at me. Let's see what happens. He's like, okay. And I was like, yes, sir. Throws a punch, and then he like blocks it and then knocks him over. He's like, oh, he falls over. He's like, oh, you didn't put your left hand up for defense. What's wrong with you? So it's like, oh my gosh, this guy is fun. I like this guy. He's cool. And halfway through the movie, he dies. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah. Also, before that, he teaches Troy Temple. So it's like, yes, little lady, we have a little, a younger soldier than our normal soldiers here. Huh? Well, let me teach you. They teach you something here. Your right hand up for attack, your left hand up for defense. Right? Like, yes, no, you do that, and you'll never go wrong when you're starting to fight. She's like, oh, okay, thank you, Mister So and So, like Sergeant So and So. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, isn't that cute? And then he dies. So basically, what happens is, there's a battle, and you see him come in mortally wounded. He's in the hospital room, and he's like, hey, listen to me, young girl. It's like, are you going to be okay? It's like, I don't know, but if I not, remember, keep your right hand up for attack and your left hand up for defense. It's like, oh, that's so sad. And then of course, then it like fades to black, and it comes back up, and then or something, and then you see them playing taps, and I'm like died. No, this is terrible. And then you find out later that dude from the cool dude from the beginning is the leader of the bad guy of the not bad guys, the leader of the people fighting them. So he is responsible for that dude's death. All right. So now you hate that dude. You hate that dude now. I hated that dude. I was like, no, you're not funny anymore. There was like times where he's like trying to be cool and stuff. And I'm like, no, you're not funny anymore. You killed Sergeant so and such. You killed him. I don't like you anymore, yo. And it's like, it gets even worse when he kidnaps. He has one of his spies kidnap Shirley Temple. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl could get killed. That just totally changes the movie. The movie is totally changed now. This is no longer a silly Shirley Temple movie. This girl is a huge, terrible danger. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out a bit. But then he does win some points back because they send their the British send their army, or Scottish, I don't know who, but the Shirley Temple's people send their army out with send their army out, right, to try to discuss a peace treaty, and get her back. Okay. And one guy comes out, I think the dashing young dude that the mom may end up with at the end, comes out with like a white flag, with no weapons, white flag saying, I don't want to, I just want to talk, and then he's, the cool dude sees one of his guys take aim on him, right, knocks him over. He's like, no. He's like, oh. But so he's like, no, no violence, no. Let's see what he has to say. So it's basically, so they're hanging out, and they actually do come to an accord, and they'll at least come to court and stuff. But and that was cool that he was like going, yeah, yeah, I'm sorry, taking, not killing her. I was liking that. I was liking that. But there was the issue. There was also another issue. He was saying, she was wanting to go like, why are you doing this? Why are you causing this horrible problem? Why are you waging this war? We just want to live in peace. We're together, coexisting together. Basically, what she was saying. She wasn't saying it that many words, but she was saying, please, just want to live in peace, please. We don't want to fight anymore. Why are you guys fighting? And then all they were doing was just laughing at her, like, I'm like, there's no real reason given why you're fight. Why? Why are you doing this? Why can't there be some sort of reason? Come on. Oh my gosh. It was so bad. It was so bad. And then, of course, there was the part where the spy that kidnapped Shirley Temple was thrown off a cliff and by his own guys. And she saw it. I'm like, what the heck? Why are you showing a kid this? Now, of course, in the what's it called? Behind the scenes stuff, she probably knew that it was fake, and he was not going to be falling far. That was just a game, just play acting. But no, I'm sorry. As far as the movie is concerned, you have a girl who has been kidnapped and taken to a place where she could be killed, and then she sees someone else get killed, and it's like, what? Right in front of her eyes, and it's like, oh my god, and she's like, oh, that poor dude. I'm like, what? Just so bad. It was just done so wrong. This Despicable Me. No, not Despicable Me. Despicable Me was great. It was great. It was great. No, that's not. That's a conversation for something else. Some other time. That's a conversation for another time. What was bad? Series of unfortunate events. I'm sorry. I was getting my silly bad guys mixed up. Series of unfortunate events was another way to do death wrong. Okay. In that one, you got Count Olaf. Now, it might have worked better if it wasn't Jim Carrey playing it. I'm talking about the movie. The book, probably you could have anyone, any loathsome jerk, be Count Olaf. That's fine. But it's Jim Carrey. Okay, it's Jim Carrey being Count Olaf, who is silly, yes, but unfortunately, he's also an effective murderer. Now, if he had not been an effective murderer, if he had been trying to kill people and it didn't work, and they like died themselves, or by accident, or other guys came over and grabbed them and took them away, or whatever, that would have been a different story. But it says, what you see time after time, he's the one killing these people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're now afraid for these kids. You're now afraid of the kids. When the oldest one, the girl, the Violet or whatever her name was, looked out the bathroom door, not bathroom door, out of the bedroom door with that one scene, where he pretended to be a snake person, snake, it'd be a snake person, a person who was studied snakes, right? So he could get into the house with their uncle who studied snakes, you know, and he's like in there. He's like, she looks out and he's like, "Do you have a hall pass?" And I'm like, "Okay." If he had been like silly and not effective at murdering at all, then it would have been silly and fun. But no. This thing, no, he's frightening. He's frightening. It is genuinely scary. It's genuinely horrible. I was like, get back in there, girl. Get back in there. Because I was like, oh, get back in the room, girl. Get back in there. No, don't mess with that. Don't mess with no. That's what I was like. That's what I was like. I'm like, it was horrible. And then they had to make him funny at the end. Then there was the part where he basically tried to, basically marry the young girl, the oldest girl, and send the other two out, so the other two to different homes or whatever. And I'm like, you're just causing huge problems. No, this is horrible, man. Other people were like, people in my family were like, going to places I didn't really go. It's like, oh God, come on, oh my gosh, don't go there. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. This just was just so bad. It was just so bad. That's how you deal with death wrong. Unless the issue is you deal with death that way if you want us to hate the one who caused it. All right. We hate the cool dude from the cool Indian dude from Wiggly Winky. We hate Count Olaf. We hate them. Okay, I think Mom started hating Jim Carrey a little bit. My mom started hating Jim Carrey a little bit after she saw that movie. I was like, oh my gosh. I was thinking it was like going to be a little something, showing her a little bit of that movie would be a nice, cute movie to show her. But I guess I showed her the wrong part. The worst part. Oh, but anyway, but you changed Jim Carrey after that. That was terrible. But the way to do death properly, for an example, the way to do death properly, let's go to a movie called Courageous. Now, Courageous is a Christian movie, but it is an awesome Christian movie. Made by some people who made some other awesome Christian movies. You should go check them out. Okay, look at Courageous. You'll see a bunch of make other people movies that they made, like Flywheel. Flywheel is pretty good too. But anyway, Courageous stars three police officers. Oh no, two police officers and one other guy. One guy is black, one guy is white, and one guy is Hispanic. Now, this mostly revolves around the situation between the white guy and his family. Of course, there's issues with the black dude and his family as well, and the Hispanic dude and his family. But the white guy and the white guy are both police officers, and they're the most serious scenes. Uh, the Hispanic dude is mostly for comedy. Was mostly for comedy relief, but he definitely had a huge part to play as well. So let's see. Anyway, basically, what happens is, the white guy, the white police officer guy, uh, is having is having basically so tied up with work that he's family his he has a son, a daughter, and his wife are having issues with this whole thing, and basically they're just like drifting apart, and there's like one part where um the daughter, she's like 10 9 or 10 years old. She's like, hey dad, they're at the park. Okay, and he's catching up on paperwork. She's going and doing stuff. She's like, hey dad, I got this little dance we gotta do. There's like a dance we gotta do soon at school. Would you like to help me out with this? Like, I think we have to do a waltz or something. So can you dance with me? And he's like, well, no, I'm too busy. I got this paperwork to do. So I was like, okay. He's like, okay, I'll do it myself. I was like, okay. So she's like, starts doing this thing. It's like, okay, I'm doing this, and then you'll be doing, you'll do this, and then all that. And I was like, oh, then just like you're thinking, oh, that's so cute. That's such a cute little moment. And then she dies. Yep, she dies. Yeah, but here's how it goes. Here's how it goes. You don't see who did it. You only hear about it. Okay, dude comes home from work the dad comes home from work one day, and his wife's like, "Oh my gosh," like, "What's wrong?" It's like, "Oh, so I was like, oh, homegirl, she was killed in a car accident. Don't get all drunk in a car accident." And I was like, "What? No, no," and it's really sad and it's horrible. But and the thing is, a drunk driver. There was like a drunk driver that slammed into the van they were in, and she was killed. It's like, oh no, so it's sad. You hate the drunk driver, but the thing is, you never see it. You never see him or her. You don't see it. It's just mostly focused on them dealing with someone, one of their family members who died. And it's really sad. And then there's like a part that that's really sad where he's in the park, doing a little waltz thing, and he's like doing a dance himself, and he's like, oh, he's got to tell her I did my part of the dance. Like, oh, that's horrible. And it was really well done. But then things get even better. I was talking about how things got worse in the other two movies with the way they were dealing with death. In this one, things get better. There is a scene that comes after this, after those scenes, I believe, after those scenes, where you will with involving the dad whose daughter just died. You will laugh at this scene. You will laugh at it. And I'm like, what? You're like, oh my gosh, this is funny. Because basically the scene is so hilarious. You know, and wonderful. It's and you're basically like, yeah, he's healing. He's healing. There's, you're glad, good. It's nice to see him laugh again. To have fun again after this horrible thing that's happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was cool. And then at the end, he has a speech. He has guest star. He has a speech about to a congregation at his church about trying to be as good of a father as you can while you can. And you're like, yes, sir. When I have some kids, I'll make sure to do that, sir. Yes, yes. That's horrible. That was a horrible thing. So sorry about that happened to you, sir. No, it was horrible. It was so good. It was so good. And basically, that's how you deal. The best way to deal with death in movies is to basically, unless you want us to hate someone, okay, is to basically, get like in real life, Unless of course it's an action movie, then it's not real life. Yes. Mm. Bird, bird. Hey, dude. Come on, dude. Come on. See you next time. Check me on YouTube and DeviantArt.